Hey, this is just Ben on the front end, here to tell you to give the podcast a rating if you don't mind, and follow it or subscribe to it on whatever you're listening to this on. If you want to send us an email, we'll read it and maybe talk about it on the show. It's deadensigns@gmail.com, and we got a Twitter. Anyway, if you could do all that, please. That'd be really nice. Bye, enjoy the show.
Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Alright.
Is Matthew McConaughey here with me and recording the podcast right now?
I haven't tried to do the Matthew McConaughey voice since I did it for that D&D game we did like a year and a half ago.
It was a
it's
GURPS
gone.
game. It was a GURPS game. Don't taint GURPS
man.
with your filthy D&D.
That game of kings.
Mm-hmm.
I like opening up a book and seeing 8 million different abilities with individual point scores.
Yeah, I love it.
I'd like telepathy, please. What kind of telepathy? The good one?
Yeah, and would you like to know the rules of how to work these abilities? Because they're all over 4 different books.
Yeah, they're over 4 different books, and they each have 1 paragraph.
Yeah, it's like 1 paragraph.
Yeah. But they all reference 800 other paragraphs.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And there's no easy way
this one.
To like traverse this web of lies, a web of rules that gets created, you know. But I love it. We should write our own.
It's basically
GURPS.
the best system in the world.
Yeah, because you can do it. You can use it for anything.
My
system. Yeah. What's your system?
My Omni Uber system.
It's called the Ben system. The game lands.
I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to give it out for free.
Yeah, for free, yeah.
But needless to say, I think in 15 years, when the game lands, is a perfected, not system, but framework.
Yeah, it's
people are going to love it.
It's an engine.
People are going to love it. It's an engine for your world.
Yeah.
More than it is a tabletop RPG.
Yeah,
but we don't need to talk about that.
It's kind of a sled that you put things in. It's a cart that you then move stuff through by putting it in, you know?
Mm-hmm. You choose what you want to do, and the engine takes you there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Takes you to the destination of good times with your friends.
And if anyone has problems with it, they're just stupid.
Yep. And if you make a real play podcast set in it, I am legally obligated to 50% of your ad revenue.
Yeah, exactly. And if you try to do any sort of supplement work for yourself, set in the game lands, Ben also claims that money. 100% actually of it.
I get 100% of that. The ad revenue, I'm inclined to be like, look, we'll split it 50-50.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But the other stuff, No.
Yeah. Ben takes $1.50 for every dollar you make, basically.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And he's gonna fucking.
I did all the work. You're just using it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has all the backing of the government, the local authorities, several PMCs. Across the world too.
The way I look at it is that if you're driving a car, are you going along saying, I did such a good job on this car? No, you aren't.
Yeah,
maybe you can claim the trip you took with the car, but the car itself is mine, and I'm getting a cut. Alright? That's my thinking on it. And any company that also does that, I support wholeheartedly.
Ben needs a taste. That's what you say every single time you hear someone.
Skim a little off the top, I'm like the Tony Soprano of tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
I'm just here to skim a little bit off the top.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's all about keeping everything okay, It's it's a system where it works.
Yeah.
Everybody contributes and nobody complains about it. and then it just, it works. But when someone starts fucking trying to do something about it, that's when shit goes down, So it's better to just not do anything about it,
Call me James Gandalf the Grey Eni.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the Tony Soprano of tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
I think that works. Maybe a little bit forced, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skimming some off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first tabletop mafia.
Tabletop Mafia. Is that a good... Would that be like a good... that TV show they made about like the World of Warcraft guild? Like the sitcom? And then also the Fantasy Football League TV show they made? Like a sitcoms?
No, I haven't seen those.
Imagine you have seen them for the bit.
Mm-hmm. I've seen them,
okay.
Yes.
Alright. Do you think that could be a similar sort of TV show we could write, maybe? The Tabletop RPG Mafia, D&D Mafia?
Yeah, but like, what? How do you... you're taking bribes under the table not to clean up the party and get them all killed? Is that what you do?
I think it's a rough area, rough neighborhood, and some nerds.
Yeah,
they use D&D in order to climb. Like they use the logic and rules of D&D. And the idea of that character, that one night they're like, let's do a organized crime.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons story.
Okay.
And then they use those characters. They inspire them to stand up for themselves against local thugs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they go a bit too deep. They start living the character too. It's a bit of like a Mazes and Monsters meets.
But
Mazes and Monsters meets the Goodfellas. That's my pitch. That's my tagline pitch. Whenever you pitch a show, you need to have like a pre-made sort of like idea for it that you can just say like it's like this meets this to distributors, so they immediately understand like, okay,
it's like a
I get how we would. I can get how we would market this, and that would be mine. I would be like, this is Mazes and Monsters meets the Goodfellas.
It's like, imagine Critical Role, but then you add crime. Imagine reality show.
The Adventure Zone mixed with, but James Gandolfini, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. We get him.
Rest in peace. He's dead.
Yeah.
we'll get his son.
We'll get his son. Or we'll just 3D model him into the game.
Well, they used his son for the movie they made recently.
Oh,
the Sons of Newark. They used James Gandolfini's son to play young Tony Soprano, I believe. I haven't seen the movie. I heard it wasn't great, but I believe.
But this movie is going to be great.
Similarly,
the show,
around
I guess
time,
it's a show.
In Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson used Philip Seymour Hoffman's son to play a very Philip Seymour Hoffman character. And obviously, Paul Thomas Anderson's worked with him in the past, so very similar. But Licorice Pizza's a good movie. And I haven't seen Sons of Newark, so I guess I couldn't say. Yeah.
Well,
but either way,
see it now.
Look forward to the Dungeon Father. That's what it's going to be called. The Dungeon Father. Or the Godmaster sounds weird.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Godmaster sounds like it would be like an actual fantasy thing.
Yeah,
the Dungeon Father is like, ooh, okay. I get it.
Crime or Die or something like that. I don't know.
Crime or Die does not quite have a good ring to it, I'm going to say.
I know. You could do... I don't know. I can't think of anything else, honestly. Crime and D&D doesn't... It's such a... That's me as a producer. It's like, it's such a... separate
That's what
world,
you're saying now. They seem like separate worlds until you read the script and you're like, oh my god, these nerds are... It's like in their mind, they're rolling for their interactions with these mobsters. They're doing like we got one nerd. He's a classic scene tied to a chair in the back of like a meat shop, you know, a butcher's, owned by the mob, and they're trying to like squeeze him for info. Where are when's the sale going down? They want to bust it. They want to get in there.
Yeah.
He's in his mind. He's trying to think how would my character, Dendar Tulip Son, Tulip Son, how would he get out of this situation in his fantasy crime scenario? Yeah. And he's in his mind. Maybe it goes to like an animated segment or something.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe whenever they're imagining their characters, they see a similar situation in like animated with their characters.
Yeah, but we gotta save money on those, so it's gonna be made in like Toon Boon or whatever. That's what it's gonna look like.
Toon Boon. I mean that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it because I don't want to ruin the momentum here. Okay? They're imagining it. He's imagining, like, oh, yeah, he says this, and then he gets them to, like, distracting them, getting them to fight each other. Then he breaks out and he starts fighting them. And then he tries to run the scenario himself. And sometimes it goes how you expect, but sometimes real world isn't quite like the game.
And we do, like, a little graphic where it's, like the dice being rolled and he rolls on that one, and it's like symbolizes his failure in the scenario, forward scenario, you know.
And a natural one, which as we all know is an automatic failure.
Exactly. And I can imagine it how like later on in the series they kind of become really good mobsters because they use D&D as a way to dissociate from the crimes they commit.
Yes. See, that's the great that's the greater thing of it.
Yeah.
Is that the real like kind of macro, the main narrative, the overarching kind of like theme of it is escapism, distracting us from the atrocities that happen in the world, you know.
Exactly. And
they're using it to shield themselves and sort of try and create a lens that stops them from having to address the fact that they're also perpetrating these crimes that at the beginning they were like, I hate this. I hate living here. See, you're starting to get it now, aren't you?
Yeah, and then it's like one of them is like a Beastmaster, and he's got like 2 dogs.
He's got like
and they rip like a guy to shreds, and he's like, "Oh, critical hit!
Oh, critical hit!"
And they're like, "Ah!" You know, the guy's like dragged across the ground by like 2 like fucking devil dogs. You know?
I think dude. I think here's the thing we're kind of missing nowadays. You know, is like the great. We're missing like a good crime drama right
great
now.
Creatives like
think about well no but it's like, I mean, you still got Law and Order and stuff, but that goes on forever.
Yeah, but that's like forever. It's perpetual.
I mean, like, you know, you think about what we had in the past. Great, you got like The Sopranos, you had The Shield, The Wire, you know, Breaking Bad, all that stuff.
Don't you know that any portray of police or any sort of crime is like, you know, propaganda, you know, so you can't make media like that anymore.
No, but that's the thing.
Portraying it.
No, because this is going to be about the mob. It's not about cops.
But it was still kind of, you know, they'll say that it's like, oh, it glorifies mafia or whatever.
I just thought of a twist. What if at end of season 1, one of the guys, he starts to feel like this isn't right. We're just getting deeper into this world of like crime. Yeah. He splits off. He uses D&D as a way to get into the cops because he's like, I need to put a stop to my friends.
Yeah, he wears a wire.
Yeah. And that's when he realizes, like, even in the police, there is corruption and crime, and he's like, I thought this was just in movies. Yeah, I thought this was just Vic Mackey and the Shield only who did shit like this.
Exactly, and they're like, there's like a scene where cops are like splitting bribe money.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm gonna roll insight, and they're like clearly like giving each other like bills, and he's like, he rolls a 15 or something. He's like, wait a minute,
hold on,
are these bribes?
This isn't right.
Yeah.
Is nowhere free of crime and corruption.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even the fantasy world I live in is safe.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, we are knocking it out of the park these last two episodes.
Recently
Last
it's been
episode
really,
we had Wizard World War. This episode we had the Dungeon Father. We are like knocking it out of the park with ideas.
Yeah.
We need to, you know what? We really do need to cancel the podcast and just like start writing shit.
Yeah,
Have
we need
brainstorming meetings and just like write some crap.
I don't know what I would do, honestly. Actually, welcome everybody. This is Dead Ensigns, a general media Star Trek themed podcast that we apparently we talk about movies that we would make or shows.
A new thing is coming up with books, TV shows, and movies that are entirely our own. Don't steal them.
Yeah, don't steal them.
If you do, we're gonna be really mad, and we're gonna get our D&D mafia characters to come and get you. They'll do it.
I'm the enforcer of the show, Max, and this is the capo di tutti capi of the show, Ben, right now. I actually don't know what I would do if like I actually saw some of these ideas somewhere in like some like Asylum makes a movie like that or something.
We've got the evidence.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I like the idea of like some court judge having to have to listen to our podcast to actually like.
This would be a great moment to
evidence
cut forward like 3 years in time, where it's literally this audio that's being played in court, and the lawyer hits pause like right now,
and it's Slippin' Jimmy.
And then it's
Better Call Saul.
He loved being a fictional lawyer so much that he got into law school and passed the bar.
Yeah.
And now he's not representing us?
I guess, maybe.
Unclear.
I don't know. Maybe we specifically hire him and put him through law school so he can represent us, and then we go like, that's a Breaking Bad reference.
Oh, yo,
we point at him.
Everybody look, Better Call Saul, remember for Better Call Saul. I don't remember any of the court stuff he did in Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, he did like he went to his like brother. Like he fucked over his brother. Right?
I mean, I remember what happens in the show, but in terms of when he's in court,
the first one where the guys fucked like the head or something.
Yeah,
or
I remember
like a body.
that.
Yeah,
the opening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the opening of the neck.
That's like the very first. That's like the prologue is that you have him working at the Cinnabon, black and white. And then the very first thing that he's doing in the show itself is he's defending 3 kids who like,
this is how we do it. That's how you start your show. The Dungeon Father, they work in like a games workshop somewhere in like middle of nowhere or something like that.
Okay.
Hiding,
They work in like it wouldn't be a games workshop. It'd be like
or like something else,
like just a board game store,
Yeah,
like a board game cafe. Oh wait, that's it. They open up. That's the inciting incident. First episode. They open up their board game cafe in I don't know. What's you know what? Let me Google it. Highest. Hold on.
What?
Highest crime.
Oh.
US.
Okay. All right.
Memphis.
Memphis has the highest crime. Okay. Apparently. Tennessee.
Most dangerous city in America is Memphis, Tennessee. St. Louis. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Baltimore. Baltimore is wire. We can't do that one. New Orleans. When you go to New Orleans, you go a bit too much. Like it has to be all about the accent at that point.
Yeah.
Lubbock, Texas, Oakland, St. Louis, Missouri. Let's do St. Louis. They open up a board game store. St. Louis, Missouri is open like 2 days. Business is okay. Big. Stereotypical like Italian mafia guy comes in tracksuit, Tony Soprano kind of guy comes in, and he starts shaking them for protection. Yeah, he's like, the police aren't going to help you on this street. You need help from us, and if you don't get help from us, we can't guarantee something won't happen to your board game cafe. And the whole while he's making fun of the concept of it. He's like, "Oh, you're grown men that sit around playing board games and serving coffee. What the hell?"
Oh yeah,
is
of
this?
course. That's good.
I remember when this used to be a pool hall, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I remember we used to come and hang out here, we'd play pool and talk about having sex with attractive women. And now you're sitting here and you got a guy, he like points over at another table where there's like a 45-year-old like nerdy guy. He's describing like, the beautiful maiden enters from behind the tavern's bar.
Yeah.
She sits down next to you and caresses your cheek. He's like, you got guys like this over here, he's fucking pretending to be a broad and for the other guys, you know?
Yeah.
And that's when as well he starts like dropping slurs as well, you know? He's like real Tulsa about it, where he's like, "Oh, the world is full of snowflakes nowadays."
Yeah,
you need guys to pretend to be fantasy women to get the other guys going. Why don't you go out and get some real girlfriends?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
we
great.
need $500 tomorrow if you want this place protected, because the police ain't gonna help you. The police ain't gonna help you, buddy. You need community help from us.
And then, do they not have the money, or do they have the money?
Seething. Well, they don't have the money, and also they're like seething because they're like, what are we doing here? We're gonna pay. We can't pay this guy money. One of them's like, guys, don't worry, I'm gonna sell my action figure collection, and we'll probably
Funko
have
Pops.
enough.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh yeah, we'll have enough this week. But what about next week and the week after that? We can't keep this up. We need to do something. And they're like,
he can just go raise the protection money anyway. We'll be paying $1,000 in a few weeks.
Exactly.
Like
it's not going to end until, but dude, you've seen Goodfellas, right? I mean, only like 500 times. Exactly.
Yeah,
So you know, these guys, they don't stop until the business is done. And then they take it off of you. And they burn the place down for insurance.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do, Kyle? We can't not pay this guy. He's going to hurt us. Or worse. Yeah. I don't want to get whacked. I'm really getting into it now. I hope you're writing this down.
You are.
I'm like really getting into the scene, okay? All right. But then he's like, Kyle is there. He's sort of like the de facto leader. You know, maybe the shop's in his name, the cafe's in his name.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, what would 10 bar tulips undo? Your D&D character, Kyle? Really? No, just think for a second, okay?
Think for a second, yeah, it's...
Let's imagine, all right, 10 bar, and you, Jeff, your character, you know, Willow. Let's say they open up a tavern and some local orcs, they come in and they start throwing their weight around.
Yeah.
Oh, we need 500 gold tomorrow. What would they do? Well, if it was Willow could probably take out her broadsword and cut his head off. Now you're thinking, Jeff.
Yeah.
But he pulls out.
Let's pull it back a little.
He goes like, but let's run some scenarios. He drags the table into the center of the room, pulls out a bag of dice.
Yeah, of course.
And then he empties the dice. Like, we have a camera shot, all right, of the whole table, right? You know, like the camera's right on the edge of the table. He flings the dice and they roll towards the camera, and we fade to like them sitting around the table. There's some like light sort of like, maybe soundtrack wise, we go like kind of a fantasy, but like with like a you know, big band kind of instrumentation, you know, and they're like talking to each other, they're discussing, they're rolling dice, and then at the end of the night they're like, we cut to them and they're like, it's maybe like 1 a.m. They're sitting there like, it's never gonna work. It'll work, okay? If this doesn't work, what else can we do? Are we gonna rely on Tim to sell more action figures every week until he's out of Gundams? It's not gonna work. We need to do this. And then the rest of the episode is them going through the plan, and it works, and they realize we've got we've got an extra leg up on these guys. We've got like a holodeck. That's how they describe it, and to factor it into our podcast.
Are you?
They like this is. It's like we have some kind of holodeck. These guys, they can't imagine situations like us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ball gets rolling from there. You know. They
but
start
then
to slip further and further. Anyway, I'm sorry to take.
Have it. Yeah. Go further, and they're succeeding. Rise, and then suddenly you got the downpour of.
Yep.
One of them gets beat up really badly. You know,
really badly.
Really
and that's,
badly.
Up until then, they're like really focusing on like the talking their way out of it kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
Really setting up scenarios, but then it becomes to a certain point where they're like, guys, get out your replica broadswords.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, next time this rival gang comes around to try and like shake them down in the middle of the night, they like wander into the store like, where the hell are these nerds, huh? It shouldn't be too hard. Just gotta beat up a couple nerds' fucking legs. Should be easy.
No.
My arm's gone.
Yeah. What
it's
happens is
on the ground, blood spraying everywhere.
He walks in, and he steps in a pressure plate. And he go and before
I don't want to get too home alone
and it snaps on his leg or something like a homemade trap,
like a bear trap,
bear trap. And you go and before he cuts his arm off with a because I like the idea that he has that one of them has a broad short sword replica, but he then just sharpens it and it actually makes it a real weapon. And then before he brings down the sword, he goes, should have brought a 10-foot pole, and then just fucking cuts his arm off. Oh my god, this is the most stupidest show in the
It is, but
world.
Here's the thing. Easy one season on on
honestly,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Easy get for one season at least.
Yeah.
If we wrote like an actual pitch Bible for this, easy pilot at least.
Yeah.
I can picture it. I can picture it in my mind, man. It's perfect.
But it's a shame that we don't have access to Hollywood.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, if we were to try and pitch this around, we would need to entirely uproot our lives. Fold this in. TV show idea number 2. 2 run-of-the-mill guys from the UK, they uproot their whole lives to go to Hollywood to make a TV show. And it's all about the kind of wacky adventures they get up to, readjust fish out of water kind of shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Classic kind of sitcom stuff.
Yeah, they do like a thing where they're like, who can go longer without masturbating and stuff like that, you know? And you win.
Yeah. And I win.
Yeah, because
fair. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself that much, it's fair enough, man. No, I'm not gonna fight it.
I just lose immediately.
The first 1 minute episode.
A 1 minute episode, yeah. It's the pilot. It's the fact that I lose immediately.
Be kind of fun.
But yeah, it's a shame that's never going to happen because there's no Hollywood in the UK, you know.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
If there was only Hollywood in the UK.
If only there was some kind of film and just media industry in general.
Yeah, media industry. Yeah. Who cares about any TV shows?
All in the US.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And India.
They got the great machines. They have I don't know. Like it wouldn't. It would be so funny if someone like reached out, who like emailed us, and they said,
maybe a California-based listener who happens to be like a TV executive, like David Zaslav or something.
Zaslav, yeah.
maybe gets in touch, sends us an email like, guys, I heard your idea for the Dungeon Father.
Yeah.
And let's just say we want to option it this season.
Yeah.
We want this to be the heading up the new HBO Max.
Yeah.
Dungeon Father.
Finally, the revival.
Yeah,
this is when HBO Max gets good. That's like all the subscriber numbers go up again because everybody's like, subscribing to see it.
Oh, they keep removing stuff from HBO Max. We hate this. And then they see the Dungeon Father and they're like, if it's to afford shows like this, get rid of more.
Yeah.
If they, we needed to get rid of that stuff to make space for the new seasons of Dungeon Father.
Especially animation.
Get rid of more stuff. Even the cartoons. I'm not going to watch cartoons if we got Dungeon Father, man. We need more space. We need more bandwidth so people can see Dungeon Father, the premiere of season 3.
Yeah.
We see Kyle in Costa Rica.
Yeah, he does like Colombian stuff. Like they do like, they have to deal with like the triad at one point. You know, they deal with like.
It would be crazy if it becomes more globe trotting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sort of like a Breaking Bad style thing where people start to nerds rise up. The meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, maybe that's the through line instead. The meek inheriting the earth. Maybe it's more biblical than I thought.
Oh, right.
Maybe
it gets really preachy and
yeah. One of them retires from crime and becomes like a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
He gives up tabletop roleplay games altogether.
I like the idea of it just like at some point there's just like barely any D&D references. Like there's like it's just all like fizzles out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like all those like it just becomes a normal shit.
This is just like a normal TV drama. And the viewership is dropping off too, and people are like, I missed the D&D. I liked when the D&D was in it.
Yeah. I miss when they were rolling dice and stuff, and now they're just like punching people and torturing people.
I really didn't enjoy. I enjoyed Kyle's rise a lot.
Yeah,
but I'm really not enjoying the fall. He barely plays any D&D scenarios for any of the stuff that happens. He's just punching guys and hitting them with pipes and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Every now and then he says, "Good thing I have +2 damage," and that's it.
That's a good. Yeah, he like You
could have a great scene where they're getting prepared to fight some guys, and they've got like planks of wood and stuff, and one of them is like, "Hold on, I think I can make this maybe a +2 damage," and he like starts hammering nails into the board.
Yeah. It's a shame that Kyle has stopped using his iconic broadsword.
Yeah,
like halfway through season 2.
Yeah, it was, they set up this whole plot line of Tim selling all of his Gundams, but they never really showed anything like that again.
Yeah.
They just kind of started getting rich off of crime, and then they just became like actual crime guys as opposed to like D&D
like funny
crime guys.
Yeah, like funny crime guys, you know? Yeah. It's like it's like people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a Kyle tattoo because it's like he's so cool." But
that was
now,
my favorite character. And you know what, dude? One of the worst TV show characters of all time is Kyle's girlfriend.
Yeah.
All she ever does is bitch and moan about Kyle just trying to provide for them, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the problem? He's just trying to do something good for other people. And sure, maybe he's taking some bad turns here and there. But she didn't have to sleep with Tim in season 4, okay?
Yeah.
That was like entirely evil act.
Uncalled for, you know?
Completely just like... I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote that episode. Fucking goddamn! I hope somebody was fired, dude.
We're not writing the show. You're not writing the show, I guess, at this point, because it's like we're
showrunners, dude. We just coast.
We coast.
We just coast.
We just come into the set and
we're like Dan Harmon season 4 of Community, where we've been kicked off, but they keep writing our name in the credits as consultants. But we have absolutely no input on it whatsoever.
Yeah,
we're too busy writing Wizard World War.
Oh yeah,
our passion project, our real passion project.
We got the money to fund the other project, you know.
Yeah. The Dungeon Father was just there to give us some equity so we can focus on our real passions.
So contacts, we can get some contacts in Hollywood.
Thinly veiled Middle Eastern inspired war-based fantasy young adult novels.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could make it in
We'll
Hollywood
work on
if
it.
we tried.
Unfortunately, that means you're probably listening to this just now as though it were the beginning of the episode, because the last 30 minutes we talked about an idea that was so good, we had to cut it out for the sake of not having people steal it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this episode for you is only going to be like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
For us, it's a full hour. But half of it is us workshopping the next biggest idea.
Yeah, and hopefully if like by accident you heard something, you like probably plugged your ears or something and didn't hear it, you know.
If by any chance you heard some of it, stay tuned for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, the Kickstarter.
Stay tuned for the Indiegogo, because we get to keep whatever money
we get to
raise.
keep the money, afterwards.
We get to keep whatever money we do get.
Oh yeah, there is no end goal.
Yeah. We just have it set to like we need 500,000 to make the pilot. And we get like, I don't know, we get like 5,000. We'll still get to keep
and
that
you
much.
Just keep it, yeah.
Just keep that much, and we're like, well, we'll keep working on it, guys, and then we just, split it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buy PS5.
Buy drugs with them,
Buy Gundams.
We buy condoms,
Gundams.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Buy $5,000 worth of condoms.
And then we blow them up and make balloon animals out of them.
And then we make it into a viral stunt to promote the next Indiegogo campaign for Dungeon Pilot. And it keeps feeding. It snowballs. Next one, we still don't make the goal, but we spin it into another viral campaign for the next one.
The video for the next Indiegogo is like, well, guys, we're sorry, but the money from the previous Indiegogo campaign went to, and then like condoms fall. Like we record you, and the condoms fall on you. Like they just like I drop them off outside
I'm
the
like
frame.
Slick with lubricant.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, like running around in the background.
Yeah. So we need more help. We need your guys' support. That's what we say.
Here's how it would be framed. All right. You, all right, kind of like an angle of a wall behind you, maybe a counter, like it's being filmed in like an office kitchen.
Yeah.
But it's just like a wall and like a double door behind you or something,
Yeah.
And and you're like, guys, we've blown through the $5,000. We can't. We just, a lot of it went into the production while you're explaining. One of our employees, because we have employees, obviously. We're a production company. We're not going to have like a couple of assistants. Yeah. He walks past you to get to the kitchen, knocks the camera so the angle shifts over to the right, and that's when you can see behind you is me and like 800,000 condom balloons going running around just frolicking.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't realize the camera angles change, so you're just explaining it. You're just reading the script still. And then at the end, you're like, anyway, please back the second Indiegogo campaign for the Dungeon Father.
Yeah. And that's how we do it, Because internet projects always work out, All internet media projects also always work out, so you can be sure that it will go through and it will be successful.
And I'd like to apologize one more time because, again, we started talking about the idea again and we don't want it to get out. So you're probably only just cutting in now for the podcast. So sorry, that's 38 minutes of the future of television that you're not going to learn about for another couple years until after it's produced. This is going to be great, like, bonus features for the first Blu-ray season of the Dungeon Father. Yeah, we'll like put this in like inception of the idea. Conception.
We'll also do a laser disc release for it. We'll do like a retro thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they're nerds.
Yeah.
maybe Jeff has like a laser disc collection.
Yeah,
and it's like the Jeff edition of Dungeon Father. Yeah.
There's a bit where he like uses laser discs as weapons in the show at one point. Yes.
Oh yeah, he's using them like the fucking plates in Dark Tower. He's like slinging them at people and cutting their heads off.
Of course, yes.
Hell yeah.
And then also,
and he even references that it's like the Dark Tower.
Yeah, of course he does.
He references. He's like, this is just like the Dark Tower. This is just like Wolves of the Kala.
Yeah,
the Dark Tower book.
And then there's also we're gonna make a board game, Dungeon Father board game.
Yeah, we're gonna make a board game. Then we're gonna make a tabletop game.
Yeah, exactly. The system.
It's two games. Classes. You have the micro game, which is the fictional version of your characters' lives, and then the macro game, which is them trying to defend themselves from like crime bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be made in 5th edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll probably just take like some existing board game or just slap a skin on it or something.
Yeah. Well,
because we can't bother making it. Yeah.
We'll take like what's that one? The like
GURPS?
No, yeah, fuck it. We'll be GURPS.
Just take GURPS.
Full circle.
We got an entire show about D&D, and then we just put fucking GURPS in our game. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's fine. Another thing though I didn't think about, another avenue of funding that we could get. Wizards of the Coast. They're throwing money all over the place.
We can also ask the Canadian government. I'm pretty sure they also give out money for like anything.
Yeah, but then we'd have to film it in Canada.
Oh, fuck.
And I don't like the idea of having an Italian Canadian mobster. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't work. Yeah, I guess we could film it in Canada for tax reasons and just say it's St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Totally. That could work.
That could work.
Right?
Could be fine.
Tax write-off.
Yeah.
We can work out. We just have to find some people, Now we have to find a team.
Yeah, we need. We just need a crew. We just need a producer. We need a group.
We're just kind of the idea guys,
We're just kind of we're the face. Now we need the money and the body.
Yeah. That's basically what it is like.
And the face.
All the tech companies do nowadays, all the tech startups, they're like, this guy seems cool, let's give him $5 bajillion, he seems alright.
This is gonna be a good idea. We need to write this.
Oh, actually, there was a story like that recently.
Yeah.
The guy who made that really shitty movie with Keanu Reeves about... No, not Keanu Reeves. You watched the movie with him recently about him being in the dreams.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. The samurai one, where it's like Samurai of the Outbounds or Ronin of the Outbounds or Outer Lands or something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was just like it was like a shitty movie. It was not worth it.
Okay.
But Netflix gave him the director like $5 billion, and then he blew all the money away.
It was 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. He was gonna make a big sci-fi epic for them, like TV series. And yeah, he just like went. He put lots of the money into cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
and then lost basically all of it, and then just like gambled with the rest of it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Dude. Yeah. It's the guy that made 47 Ronin starring Keanu Reeves. What a fucking beast, man! That's so cool. I wish I could do something like that.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Like they just like didn't give a fuck. Like they just. Prisoners of the Ghostland, I think.
That's because they were a lost leader. The whole point was they want as much content as possible exclusive to their thing, and subscriptions that will lose them money, but in the long run they would make more money. And they can like do some tax shit, and they basically can keep running forever.
You can get Wile E. Coyote shelved.
Well, that was
for no reason.
Well, Netflix might be the one bringing that back.
Is it? Oh yeah, because they're selling.
Were shop it around.
They're shopping it about.
Like, well, if you don't want to release it, can we shop it around? They were like, yeah, whatever.
And like what's it called, like Faith Tube or something like that is gonna buy it, and they were like, we want to make it into a Christian movie. It was like, oh, okay.
That's a little strange.
They bought it, they can do whatever they want with it.
True, if they buy it, I mean.
Yeah, and Christians have a lot of money.
You
do, ask any Christian, true. You have shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. Always,
just because they donate so much of it.
Yeah,
to themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
they don't have to pay any damn taxes. We should start a mega church. What would our mega church be called?
Mega church is like a thing in the UK. I don't think they are, right?
No, that's an evangelical Midwest thing.
Yeah.
What would our mega church be called? What's the name? It needs to be something like vague. You know?
Church of the Holy Spirit. What? Holy
Church
what?
of the Holy Men of Nazareth.
Yeah, that sounds basically like some cult that would a doomsday cult. Yes.
Church of the Satan's killers.
You can't do that. You can't.
No,
do that.
Satan's killers.
Oh,
we're killing Satan at church.
Yeah, but then it turns out we worship Satan. That's the
but
twist.
It turns out you're all being groomed into being Satan's killers, as in Satan's personal killers that he uses. This is a good idea.
Because what they didn't realize is that one of the characters in this movie, it realizes he
in this
walks
movie,
up to the big, this big, they have the big sign of Satan killers. And then he walks up to it and he notices there's like a wallpaper peeling and he peels it up and it's Satan's killers, And you're like, oh no!
Oh fuck! I gotta warn the congregation.
Yeah, and then it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late. He has to fight his way out.
His grandma's already turned into a killer for Satan.
Yeah, exactly. And he has to kill. But he's also he has to use breakdancing for some reason to get out of the situation. Breakdancing hasn't been a thing in the shows media recently. I feel like we should bring that back. Now that I mentioned it, now that I spoke the words words of power, I spoke them. I kind of realized there isn't much representation of breakdancing in media nowadays.
I'm kind of just now realizing that there's not enough breakdancing in media nowadays. I mean, what a big one, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, that came out recently, had a lot of breakdancing. Yeah,
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Mocap breakdancing and stuff in there.
That doesn't count. Nobody played that game.
It's up for a soundtrack of the year award, but okay.
Yeah, people listen to the soundtrack but never played it. I've watched a movie called Sci-Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it had breakdancing in it.
Oh.
But it was 2004.
I watched a Finnish movie called Fallen Leaves on Saturday.
Yeah?
And it had a guy getting hit by a train in it.
Did it have martial arts in it?
Off screen. No.
There you go. My movie was better than yours then.
My movie had Finnish people in it.
Who cares about them?
Okay, so you're going to be racist then, is what you're deciding?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, screw you then.
Unless they're breakdancing.
There was a guy in the... There was a character...
Was there a Finnish breakdancing guy in there?
There was karaoke. Which, the guy that did karaoke, his last name was Huotari.
Huotari.
Yeah, okay. I saw it come up and I did the pointing at the screen going, oh, like Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, exactly. But we haven't finished that one, so you can't reference it yet because you haven't finished Alan Wake 2.
I know. I need to finish. I need to finish it before Friday, because or Thursday, because it's up for a Game of the Year, and if it doesn't win Game of the Year, I'm not going to want to finish it.
It's not going to win Game of the Year. We know this.
It might. There's a 5% chance it will be Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win
What's
Game of the Year.
What's your predictions?
Let's look at the nominations, I guess, for the final bit now that
we lost all our
viewers from from listening to the bits about the TV shows.
The Dungeon Father's great. The Dungeon Father is incredible. All right, I'm looking at the nominees. Let's have a little look here. All right, view all categories. Game of the year. All right, we got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I haven't played any of these games. I've watched you play Alan Wake, so
True.
Can't vote on any of these.
Well, that means the only one you can vote for is Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, technically, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I guess Alan Wake 2, according to Dead Ensigns, Alan Wake 2 wins.
Yep. Alan Wake 2 is gonna be the game of the year. It's our prediction. It's really funny how, like, absolutely over the top hyped general audiences were for a second Breath of the Wild game, and it like Icarus failed to soar higher than it did before, and in fact fell a little further away from the sun.
What do you mean? I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, and I wasn't really excited for Tears of the Kingdom, so I wasn't really like...
You're not the target audience, though.
No.
Breath of the Wild
I'm the target
huge.
Audience of the Gothic series.
You are the target audience of Gothic, yeah.
Oh, the old camp! Right?
Which is like... That's like being the target audience for, like...
Pepsi.
Yeah, for Pepsi. Yeah. No, it's like being the target audience for, like... Some knockoff soda that you get from like Lidl, but only in Hungary. Hungarian knockoff Pepsi.
It's made of bread brine.
It's like Breath of the Wild 1 was a breakout hit, and everybody talked about it for like 2 years. They were like, "This is the greatest game I've ever played. This is one of my top 5 favorite games ever, if not the number one." Tears of the Kingdom come out, people are like, More of the same.
Yeah, but you could do nuts and bolts stuff.
You could do nuts and bolts stuff, and honestly, it was kind of fucking boring as fuck. I think that was the big thing with me for Breath of the Wild, is like, gameplay isn't for me, but if they can sort out like a good story next time that is engaging and I'm interested in, then maybe I'll like it more. They didn't do that, so I didn't keep playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Actually, now that I think about Legend of the Tears of the Kingdom wins Game of the Year, because when I watched Ash, our friend of the show, play it, I was screaming at him while he was doing the puzzles because he wasn't doing them good. So that's an experience that I could award. Just that game. Honestly, that game only could have provided me with that experience.
What's another category we could look at?
Next one, I guess.
You want to? I mean, we're not going to just go through. We don't have enough time to go through all of them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We'll
important categories like best esports team,
best game direction. Basically, the exact same games as the other one, but not. They don't have Resident Evil 4 in this one. So Alan Wake 2 again, I guess. Here's one where it's like Baldur's Gate 3 will definitely win the game of the year.
Yeah.
This is one where I'm like, this should be Alan Wake 2.
Sure. But it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
It's the best directed game.
I'm telling you, it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
I know it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3, but I'm not saying this will be the one that wins. I'm saying that's the one that deserves it. I think Game of the Year is deserved by Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's like, even though Alan Wake 2 I think is probably going to be my personal game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3 is just like an unstoppable like Goliath of a game. It's like 3 games in one.
Yeah.
And it's like got so much like freedom of choice in it, you know?
Yeah.
It really is just somebody made up like the perfect 5th edition the video game, you know?
Yeah.
It's not going to be stoppable. But when it comes to direction, that's where I'm like, that's one I think it would be deserving for it to go to Alan Wake 2.
Yeah,
but it will probably end up going to Baldur's Gate 3 again. Yeah, best narrative, again, Alan Wake 2 is deserved, I think. But this time you've also got Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and Final Fantasy 16. Wow.
I don't know if you can compare it to a DLC. It's a DLC. It's not a full game,
no,
honestly.
this is no, Max. You're looking at the Cyberpunk 2077 thing in the Game Awards this year the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much that it's specifically Phantom Liberty that's up for the awards, but the idea of the comeback of Cyberpunk is up for awards because it was so like universally like criticized at launch for being like broken and fucked up and but not great and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like now people like it. It's like No Man's Sky. Except instead of being a game that was too ambitious, it was a game that was laden with crunch and not good.
Yeah.
Whereas No Man's Sky was just a really ambitious game. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that was ambitious, but also to try and have a vision. But to try and get there, they had to work people very, very hard.
To the bone, to the bone.
And
which
possibly
is, worth it now because I could have sex with Panam, basically.
Yeah, and maybe possibly false advertise the game. Not really sure where that went, really, but
Yeah, but who doesn't false advertise?
Max, would you say Phantom Liberty is worth it for best narrative?
No.
All right, then.
Alan Wake is there.
Alan Wake 2 is the better narrative, best art direction. Here's one that we finally see Lies of P and Hi-Fi Rush.
Radio.
Remember Hi-Fi Rush came out this year? At the beginning of the year?
It was on Game Pass. And
it was a cool...
and I didn't finish it.
It was a cool game, though.
It was a cool game,
but it did indeed have good art direction.
Yeah.
And a fun gameplay. Best score and music. Gotta be Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Who else is... Wait, best score and music.
This one's Baldur's Gate 3, Hi-Fi Rush, Final Fantasy 16, and Tears of the Kingdom, which,
Hi-Fi Rush had stuff. Like, you had music that was licensed, right?
No. See, now here's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily give Hi-Fi Rush that, but I would give it the next one, Best Audio Design.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
Best in-game audio and sound design.
I haven't.
Is what I would say.
Yeah.
Just looking over at the time. Best performance. Dude, we got Idris Elba here.
It was pretty good. Like, it was pretty good in Phantom Liberty, but who else do we have?
Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know who he played. Got Melanie LeBird, who played Saga in Alan Wake 2. Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I'm going to look up Neil Newbon. I wonder who he played.
Yeah.
Who specifically are they like, this character was the one? Oh, he's Astarion. He's Astarion, the gay vampire.
Oh,
the gay vampire that everybody wants to have sex with?
No. Haven't played the game.
There's no way you haven't seen the gay vampire with the silver hair.
I did see I think I know the character, but I don't know that he's gay. What does his sexuality have to do with it?
Because literally his thing is about how my backstory is that I was a vampire's guy who would go out and seduce people and then fuck them and then they get taken by the vampire boss.
Okay.
He's literally I'm so good at sex with men and women. I'm really good at sex and having sex with men and women. So good at it.
That's pretty cool. All right, yeah.
So he's on here because everybody wants to have sex with the character.
Yeah, and so he did that mocap where they put the balls on his penis so they could get every detail of it. I
feel like you'd need tiny balls. The mocap balls are usually very big. They're ping pong balls.
They could do the dots, they do for faces where they put dots.
That's true. The blue dots.
Yeah, they take a little brush and then beep 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 beep.
Do you think they're gonna give this one to Idris Elba just so they can have Idris Elba come up on stage and legitimize?
I think so. Yeah, that is a good point.
Be look, everybody, a real actor.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Oh no, video
everybody
games.
clap! Everybody clap!
I was Bush or whatever. What was he? Bosch.
I don't know. I didn't.
Bish Bosch. I think that's what he was called in that.
Max,
in that. in that crime drama that he was in?
Innovation in accessibility. Now they've got they've got 6 games here, but they don't list what they did to make them more accessible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I know Street Fighter 6 had a lot of accessibility features via hearing. They added a thing where it's like you could play with like if you had like poor eyesight or were blind or whatever, it would play noises to kind of indicate where you are on the screen and where your opponent is and what side of the screen you're on and stuff like that, how much HP you have. So that's cool, but I don't know about the other one, so Street Fighter 6, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, games for Impact. You got the dinosaur one. Chance of Sonar. I don't know what any of these games are. I'm going to say...
Volcano High was a pretty memed game. It was like...
Because people were like, "Whoa, weird furry game" or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know anything about
but
it.
I like Terra Nil. Terra Nil was fun.
Yeah, I saw some game. I saw a friend playing that a bit at one point, and I was like, "That looks like a game." Terra Nil gets it.
Just default.
Best ongoing. Fortnite did just add Peter Griffin, so I think that kind of answers the question.
Obvious choice, then, yeah.
Best community support.
Do you think what did you Terry or whatever from Chris from Dungeon Father was going to get added to Fortnite? Kyle is going to get added to Fortnite.
Yes, they would add Kyle to Fortnite.
Okay.
I'm going to jump ahead a bit here. Best independent game. Well, it's got to be Nexon's Dave the Diver, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Best independent
they need a leg up.
They need
Best
the
debut
recognition.
indie game.
Nexon really need the... Yeah. Viewfinder is like 30 minutes long. Go for Viewfinder, I guess.
Yeah.
Best mobile game. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Honkai Star Rail. Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter Now, Terra Nil. I don't know. I'm going to move on.
Yep. Abstain.
Best VR, none of them. Next, best action
You don't do
game.
VR? I haven't played my VR in like years now.
Best action game. Dead Island 2. Remember Dead Island 2?
Dead Island 2.
Remember Dead Island 2?
I forgot that game came out. Yeah. Fuck.
Armored Core 6.
That's
Fires
such a shame.
Rubicon. Remnant 2. Dude, I don't know. We're getting in the weeds a bit here.
Yeah, this is...
Best action adventure. Different from best action, of course. Alan Wake 2. It has just enough.
It has action and it has adventure, you're right.
Thing is, it has too much adventure to be considered an action game, so it gets an action adventure. Same with Marvel Spider-Man 2. Same with stuff. I love categories, man. What genres are so great. Like best RPG, like Lies of P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do best adaptation next. Let's skip all of these and do best
adaptation. Hold on.
Castlevania Nocturnal.
Hold on, wait.
I haven't watched that.
Hold on, I need to go back to the categories and look for adaptation.
Bottom right. Yeah, bottom right.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me look. Wait, it's loading. It's loading. Hold on. Okay, all right. Gran Turismo. It's got to be Gran Turismo
movie. We gotta do the Gran Turismo movie.
What was the tagline?
He dissed this track 100,000 times.
Gamers something. What if a gamer became a racer?
Oh my god! They literally was just stealing their idea for the Dungeon Father.
No, ours is better. Most anticipated
game.
Max,
that's a good one.
What's a game that you're anticipating?
Oh my god! None of these, honestly.
You don't want to play. You don't want to play Star Wars Outlaws, the game that's definitely going to come out.
No, I don't want to play that game.
You don't want to play Hades 2.
Yeah, where's GTA 6?
True.
It's GTA 6, eh?
What's the next
No,
one?
I don't care about any of these.
Dude, content
honestly.
creator of the... Where's Dead Ensigns? What the hell? They got a cartoon character here. They don't even damn exist.
All these people, all our viewers, please go on to Game Awards and send tickets, complaints, like why haven't Dead Ensigns been nominated?
All right, well, who are you gonna vote for here, dude? Iron Mouse.
People make games.
People make games. Quackity. Spreen.
Because they make people make games actually make cool little documentaries about games. Like they actually make content like that's not just streaming or
you're
something.
telling me you don't want to vote for Spreen? The fucking
come on,
Spreen.
We can't laugh at these people. We're doing what they do by recording this podcast.
Dude, who the fuck is Spreen?
You can look at him on YouTube.
This dude's got
probably.
7 million subscribers. I think he's Hispanic. He's a Hispanic content
Yeah,
because
I think they tried to pick like content creators
international.
International.
Where's Quackity from? I'm curious. I'm curious.
I want to know where he fucking lives right now. I want to point at the map and say this is where Quackity lives. Did you find where the Quackity's from?
He looks like he's just kind of like a streamer, I guess.
Yeah, what did you expect from the content creator of the
year?
year?
He's got 6.28 million subscribers.
So well, then Spree has more subscribers, therefore he's
better,
hold
on.
Right?
Wait, hold on. No, this dude hasn't made any videos on his YouTube for a year.
Because he's a streamer, probably.
Yeah, he's just doing the Twitch stuff. Let me check his Twitch.
No, we're not doing this as a bit for...
Check out he's streamed Minecraft 17 days. He hasn't streamed in 17 damn days.
Maybe he's dead.
Maybe he died.
Maybe he got kidnapped by a cartel.
This dude, it looks like this dude streams like twice a month at most.
Maybe they're really good streams.
We're out here putting in the work. And then people like Spree. The name makes me laugh. It's one of those things where it's like it's the same thing when you get to like the esports category and it's just like username, so you're just like, man, this shit's silly as hell.
Best esports athlete.
Best esports
Faker.
athlete.
I know Faker.
Hold on, I'm loading it up. Dude, we got
Z-Wood.
We got Demon 1, Hydra, Ruler, and Imperial Hull.
What would your esports athlete name be, Ben?
Diddle -R. Be Diddle R.
Mine would just be N and then asterisk, and then they would have to write it out. They would have to say it every single time.
Boo. Esports team. Evil.
But I'll
geniuses.
be really good, I'll just be really good,
Bro, who's out here voting for a team called Evil Geniuses? A little on the nose there. Come on. Yeah. You're kind of asking for a bad outcome. The best esports
Maybe they are Evil Geniuses.
Dude, they got Gunba. Anyway. Best esports event. Probably Valorant champions, I guess. That's the end of that's all of them.
Yeah,
that's most.
We went through all of them, all the most important categories.
Yeah,
they can get rid of the rest of them. Honestly,
we destroyed.
FAQ.
Tune in next year for the Dead Ensigns Awards.
Yeah, we'll host them.
We're gonna hand out some awards for people.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to get a Kickstarter, not a Indiegogo. We need to.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll get the funding from.
Anyway,
someone.
Thanks for listening. Look out for the Dungeon Father Indiegogo. It should be coming up in the next couple months. Gonna need your support. But until then, you can support us still by just subscribing to the podcast and whatever you're listening to it on. And if that happens to be YouTube, you can leave a comment as well, like a video or whatever. Otherwise, email us, deadensigns@gmail.com. And you can find us on Twitter and Twitch under Dead Ensigns still. So, give it a fucking go. Anyway, as Kyle says at the end of Season 5, the penultimate season of the Dungeon Father.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper in hell. You motherfucker. And then he shoots Tom in the head.
In the back of the head, too.
Yeah.
Execution style.
Yeah. Because Tom's been, skimming too much off the top. And he has to set an example that nobody's safe.
Kyle, have you seen the skibbity toilet stuff? It's wild.
Bang! That's when he takes him out. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.